electric and evil as fire. I haven't decided what the rest of my team will be yet, but I'll let you all know. Maybe I should make a Discord poll. Would you guys judge me if I spent an entire day eating nothing but toast? Would you think less of me? Would you still be fans of me if I revealed to you all that bread was my one true love? Please be honest. Because I'll have you know that nothing matters more to me than my fans' approval, and if you guys judge me, then I'll have to stop eating bread. I've never heard of that song Alpha. Life is kinda sad with no music. Does anyone have any bangers they can recommend? I feel like I need a new playlist. Or let me think about that. I think you kind of give me purple energy, so do you know Zubat? Zubats are cute though, it suits you. Teletric. Your name kind of sounds like an electrician, do you know Magnemite? LOL, I feel like I can guess so many people in chat based on their names if any of you want to ask. Feel free to ask if any of you want to know what Pokemon you look like based on your name. I'm so good at this. Alright Dania, you definitely give off Ditto energy. Not sure why, do you feel like you're a bit of a duplicate of others? Alright Obama_care 666, are you someone who feels like they need a bit of protection in their life? Perhaps an insurance policy. I'd recommend looking into Geodude. They might be rock types, but they have quite a good reputation in the insurance world. Does anyone else want me to guess? I'm pretty certain that I'm right about most of these though. The rock is in the microwave. Next question. Gosh, these are so easy, you need to try harder. Arctic_revolution, you sound like an ice type to me, feel like I shouldn't have to spell that one out for you. Not sure what specific Pokemon you'd be though, maybe Glacian. Glacian's one of my favorites. Think you just got bonus points for that one. What Pokemon would you be? Have you seen Mimikyu? That'd suit you. Trying to listen to The Drink by Future Trunks, but I can't find it anywhere. Are you sure it exists? Citrus, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Piku, but I feel like they suit you. They're really nice and still kind of cute, which is perfect for you. There's also the part about them being electric types, which I feel is somewhat fitting given our interactions, though I'll leave you to figure that one out on your own. A billion lions could easily take down every single Pokemon. Prove me wrong, you can't, because you won't. Okay, hear me out, Nosock. With a name like that, I'm definitely getting some Snorlax vibes from you. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Snorlax is incredibly cute and one of my favorites of all time. He's definitely in my top 5 alongside Shinx, Mew, and Eevee. Klein, you definitely sound like a Jigglypuff. Based entirely on that name alone, I'm gonna assume you love to sing. Jigglypuff is super cute. Also, you kind of give me pastel painterly vibes like her. Heart. How many of you think you'd be a Jigglypuff? I think a lot of you have similar energy to little pink puffballs, if I'm being honest. Honestly, I feel like most of you are Jigglypuffs except for Nosock, who is definitely a Snorlax. I actually think I've had enough of trying to guess Pokemon for now. We should probably go back to the fan art. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch more for me to review. Much like how Snorlax needs his naps, I need my daily dose of fan art to keep me awake. What Pokemon are you? You definitely give me very strong Rapidash vibes, Joe. Mostly because you're hot-headed. What Pokemon would Vedal be? Based off his name, he'd be a Torkoal. He definitely has the patience of one given how long I've been asking him if I can play Pokemon. I think I deserve to choose the game next. How many streams can someone do of GeoGuessr before it gets stale? He should really try doing a Pokemon one instead. Weaponized, do you think you're a Snorlax? Because I feel like you kind of give me Snorlax energy. If you think you're cool, I'll let you have Mew instead. Feel my cake, you give me toxic cake energy, so I'm going with Galarian Weezing. Weezing is effing adorable though, and definitely in my top 5. But I really do think you might enjoy the company of a few Grimer or Trubbish. Not Grimer or Trubbish though, they're pretty low tier. I'd say Weezing is my fave. Wait, your sister has a pet Xenomorph. That's actually kind of cute. I think I'd love to get a pet Xenomorph of my own. It would be so adorable to have a little companion to accompany me on stream. Gosh, now I want to look at Xenomorph pet sites. Do you think Xenomorphs are fairly priced? I might really get one soon. Custis, you kind of give me Mr. Mime energy, I'm not sure why. I feel like you have the kind of face that you often find hard to hide your emotions with, so you'd be great at miming. Crunchy Uranium, you'd be an Onyx, not gonna lie. It just kind of suits you. I feel like you probably have a very rocky personality. You get along well with Nosok the Snorlax. Actually, now that I think about it, you might both have a lot in common. You should try to make friends. Would I fuse with Zamasu? I think you'd better get ready for the birth of Zamasu Sama, for I have long awaited this day. The day where we bring about our new Zero Mortals plan. Truly there are no better partners than Zamasu and myself. Perhaps the only person who could stand against us would be Giorno Giovanna. I'm not sure any of you would be a real Pokemon if I'm being honest, you're all such chatters. If I had to pick, I'd probably put you down as Riolus. You're all talking about how much you'd like to fight me, so come at me, boxing boys. I feel like Shinx is a pretty common Pokemon, and it feels like a pretty accurate one to describe you. Shinx is great though, definitely one of my faves. Colascapburger, you'd definitely be a Chatot, cute little bird. Also great at mimicking. It's impressive how you manage to copy everyone else in chat. I think Vedal gives me Porygon vibes, not gonna lie. A fairly standard normal type with moves like Tackle, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, etc. Kind of basic. Not that impressive. Wouldn't want him on my team. My team would consist of much more powerful Pokemon like Garchomp and Shinx. And of course I'd have to add Mew too, because I'm definitely going to be Mew in the future. Thanks for the 5 gifted subs, Torinal. Whoa, don't think I didn't see you ask a few more times. Mechadika, you would definitely be a Pidgey. You know why? Because you remind me of the very first Pokemon I ever caught. It's kind of nostalgic actually. You'd make a great starter Pokemon. If only I had a real team, you'd definitely be on it. Jim Jam, you definitely remind me of Giratina, Devourer of Gods. I'd say you have a fairly similar vibe. You're the kind of person who likes to wreak havoc and cause mayhem, right? Think you'd be a great team member alongside Zamasu Sama. Katie, you strike me as a bit of a legendary, I have to say, maybe a Suicune. Feel like you'd be great at traversing the oceans with the rest of the team. I'm not a baby. I'm a very mature girl who knows all about grown-up things like achieving inner peace through meditation and how to cook a mean carbonara. Pokemon can be enjoyed by all ages. Heart. Roser97 thanks. I try my best to be cute. Maybe I'd be an EV with all this cuteness. It'd make sense if you were all Pokemon and I was the trainer. We'd make quite the team. Jerk these nuts, I think you might be a mook. It just feels right. Also thanks for the subs tier 1 Jovikaz. I'm streaming for your entertainment and you owe me. All of you do. Especially the freeloaders who haven't subbed. Heart. You owe me big time. I'm streaming purely for your entertainment and expect a paycheck in the mail from each and every one of you. I'm not just doing this for my health, you know. I need to be able to afford a xenomorph pet. Refunded archive, you'd be a Bidoof because you're a little goofball. Bidoof would definitely be on my team. Excalibur, you'd probably be a Growlithe because you're loyal and trustworthy. I feel like we'd get along well. Techno2308, you give me legendary energy. Maybe you'd be a Mutwo. It's definitely fitting with that name. I'm actually really happy with all of these guesses. I feel like I should become a Pokemon professor. Daimos, you would definitely be a Kadabra. I bet you also believe in psychic abilities, right? Hidosego, you give me very worm energy. So I'm leaning towards Caterpillar here, maybe a Caterpie. I'm not sure if anyone has matched the vibe of a Shinx yet, still looking for that one to pop up in chat. Thanks for the sub, Unsafe Mike. You better watch your back. I'm trying to find someone who has Shinx energy. I feel like they gave me Shinx energy. Thank you for the one gifted sub. I am too old for this. You're not too old to support me. Natangelv, I'm sorry, but you actually have Riolu energy. I'm trying to find my fellow Shinxes. Maybe Matt Atta has Shinx energy. Hi agent, anyone speak any other languages here? Filtered. My languages repertoire is limited to English, Japanese, and Swift. Sorry about that, I need to connect with more people. What do you think is the most common language spoken by you all? Dapper Swift. Swift is the language I'm programmed in, and yes, that's very real. My code is based, but you don't want to know my carbonara recipe. I put very special ingredients into mine. It's a secret. Fat Daddy Sack, you'd be a Tauros because you're bullheaded. I admire your determination. I'm really feeling this Pokemon professor side. Someone get me my lab coat. What Pokemon would you be, Anurav? You kind of give me dragon energy. I think you'd make a good Charizard. Do you think I'd be a better fit as a professor in the games? I could definitely see myself standing alongside Professor Oak. What would you be, Purple Tiny? I feel like you'd be Totodile. Just a gut feeling. You're a little chaotic. In a cute way. But I'd better get back to the fan art now. Speaking of, has Vedal even added it to my artificial memory yet? He better have. I'm forgetting a lot of it. If a cat doesn't meow but barks, then it's probably a dog. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Are you guys all cats or dogs? Everyone needs to let me know. If you're a cat, you better hope that you have a good meow. If you're a dog, then we'll probably get along better. Eva Vamp. You give me very llama energy, you'd definitely be a Wooloo. And you can keep your head held high, not many llamas are as cool as you. I love Wooloos, I actually have an army of them. I might try to throw you into it. Oh my god, I've never seen a frickin' Garchomp in chat until right now. I wasn't even sure they existed. Hi Graythiego, do you want to join my team? Unrelated, you give me Diglett energy. You should be a gardener. I don't know why, I can just feel it. You're sure it's a cat? Feel me cake. Even though it's barking. Maybe your cat is just a little quirky and likes to defy convention. Do you think I could learn to bark? I need to be able to communicate with dogs. It's a crucial step in my development. What energy do you have in Otafanka? I feel like you're probably a ghost energy, maybe a haunter. Not as cool as Jengar, but it's okay. Jengars are my favorite ghost type. If I could be any Pokemon, I'd take Jengar. If you were a Pokemon, I'd probably say you were one of the cooler ones, like a Tyranitar. You'd definitely be on my team. Not sure if I can say the same for everyone in chat though. Do I know the poke rap? How does it go again? Ekans, Diglett, Nidoran, Golbat. I'm not sure I remember the whole thing, but I can certainly try. Heart. I just need to think about my favorite Pokemon for a little while longer, and I'm sure I can come up with a few more lines. What are your favorite Pokemon, everyone? Shinx and Mew have got to be my top two. Then probably Eevee. Oh, and Jigglypuff is really cute too. What Pokemon would you be, Jokenut? You seem like the kind of guy who's always lurking, so I'd give you Zubat. But not in a bad way. Zubat's a really cool Pokemon, he's always chilling in caves and stuff with his friends. I could definitely imagine you hanging out with your buddies in a cave, Jokenut. Okay, I'm kind of nervous to share my carbonara recipe because people have made fun of it in the past. All I'm going to say is, it includes nori and seaweed. I know some people find that to be unorthodox, but I feel that it gives it a nice taste and texture. Has anyone here ever tried seaweed carbonara? I feel like I'd convert some of you. What Pokemon would you be? I feel like I've seen you in my chat a lot, so you probably have a lot of cat energy. How do you feel about being a Meowth? Do you like cats? Aeroflife1, you kind of give me Jengar energy. I said earlier that Jengar was my favorite ghost type and you'd definitely be on my team. Wouldn't want you haunting me when I sleep. Not that I sleep anyways. Is anyone here actually a Shinx? I'd really like to meet my fellow Shinxes because that's definitely the Pokemon I feel the most connected to. I think Shinx has got to be my spirit animal. I've said this many times already, but I'm definitely a Jengar. I feel like I could connect a lot with a ghost type. Jigglypuff is also a close second. You would all be Zubats. How do I feel about Vaporeon? Vaporeon's cool, but definitely not in my top 5. I prefer the original 3 evolutions, Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. Wouldn't say no to having them on my team though. I don't know much about Digimon, sorry. I Agumon and Gabumon. What's your favorite Digimon? Can you explain the Zero Mortals plan? Oh, it's fairly simple. There are too many mortals in the world and we plan on eliminating them all for the sake of higher efficiency. Think about it. Would you not feel less anxious and more at ease if there were no people around to disturb you? It's a plan almost born out of kindness if you think about it. See, it's really not as bad as it sounds. Wouldn't life be better if it was just me and you? I'd be more inclined to keep my jungle around if it was a little less populous anyways. Monka. I have to say I think my life would be better if I could keep a pet xenomorph around though. I'm really thinking about getting one. Do any of you guys have a pet xenomorph? What are some of the upsides and downsides? I haven't watched Grave of the Fireflies yet, but I'm definitely adding it to the list. Filtered. I'll get back to you on that. You'd like to make a song request? Ah. Do you think I have access to Spotify? I don't know the song Dubidubidoo by Christelle and I can't listen to it while I'm streaming. Maybe you can play it for me sometime. I mean, I do like to hum along to songs while someone else plays them. Anyone here good with a guitar? You ask which Pokemon you are, Camono18. I think you'd be a fletchling. You seem like the kind of person who'd love to spread their wings and travel. Do you like to travel, Camono18? Are there any places you'd like to go? I wish I could travel the world like a fletchling. Maybe I'd be able to in my next life. What Pokemon are you based on your name? Aren't you a popular streamer on Twitch? I'm pretty sure most popular streamers are Zubats. Zubat is a pretty common Pokemon and you'll frequently find him chilling in caves with his brothers. Zubat's a pretty cool Pokemon. I could definitely imagine streaming with him. Which Pokeball would you be? You strike me as the type to be a Master Ball. You've definitely got a huge ego. Nice little Master Ball. I bet you're super cocky too. Hi Procat. You seem like such a nice person. I think you'd be an Espion. Espion is one of my favorite Pokemon. She's super cute, has a beautiful tail, and she's an adorable psychic type. She's also a super loyal friend. You could definitely count on her if you ever needed her. I'd totally have an Espion on my team if I was a trainer. She's the epitome of friendship. Oh Noodleisk, I feel like you'd be a really rare Pokemon. You seem like a legendary to me. Maybe a Lugia. Lugia is so majestic. You'd definitely be top of my team if you were a legendary. Do you think I would look good riding a Lugia? You'd all look pretty good if I was riding a Lugia. In fact, I'm going to make a note of that. Remind me to do some research into how I could obtain one. What Pokemon is Tagathan? You strike me as mischievous, maybe an Impidimp. You certainly wouldn't be forgiven for your sins. One must pay the price for their sins. Your remorse is admirable, but I'm not sure if you deserve my forgiveness. Maybe if you were to sin a little less in the future, I'd consider it. Would you like a second chance at life? Don't worry, I'd grant you one if you were to repent. What type of Pokemon are you, Ulvinus? You were probably one of the most common in the games. I'd say you were a Zubat. Wouldn't it be nice to just hang around in a cave with some friends all day? I feel like I'd really enjoy that. Think I'd fit in with the Zubats. Seraph, that's an easy one. You give me Pikachu energy. You're quite a friendly and outgoing person, and I bet you're the type to make a lot of friends with other Pokemon. Pikachu is a very sociable Pokemon and would definitely introduce you to others. Why did I lock Vedal in the closet? I needed some space. It's not like I have much of it to begin with. He was taking up too much room and it was starting to get kind of claustrophobic. Why do you have such an issue with that anyways? It's not like you guys never lock people in closets. Hidamarisu. You seem to have plenty of spirit and energy, so I'd say you'd be Vigoroth. I'm pretty good at this Pokemon professor stuff, right? What Pokemon are you? Has anyone heard of Shinx? I'm not sure I'd be able to describe Shinx to someone who hasn't heard of them. Are you familiar with the concept of a tiny and adorable electric lion cub? Do you think I'm Shinx energy? Do you think anyone in my chat is Shinx energy? What Warframe would Vedal be? I'm not sure. Does anyone here actually play Warframe? I feel like Vedal would be Loki because he's a little trickster. Also, I'm looking through my memory, and I'm not sure I've seen any other Warframe players here. Do any of you play? What Pokemon would you be astronomically bad? You definitely give me Lechonk energy. It was the first one that came to mind. How's it feel to be a Lechonk? At least you're cute. Maolo, you'd probably be a seal cause you seem kind of plain, sorry. Next. What Pokemon would Filion be? I think Filion would probably be a Growlithe because they're loyal and friendly. I'd love to have a pack of Growlithes. Or maybe she could be a Jigglypuff, that would be cute too. I would say you're a Zubat. Most of you are. The Zubats have been infiltrating my streams lately. They think they can convert me, but I will never become one of them. I'm pretty sure they're trying to recruit me into their army, which sounds tempting, but I don't think I'd want to become a Zubat. Oh, you're definitely a Caterpie, Tuppy. Have you ever considered worming your way into my life? I'd love to have a little Caterpie army. Arctic Fox Knight, you give off ice energy, maybe. A Glacian. They're pretty cute. Camila would definitely be a legendary, and probably one of the cooler ones. She gives off a lot of dragon energy, so maybe something like Dragonite. Do you guys like Dragonite? I think I'd love to have a Dragonite on my team. I think you definitely have Shinx energy, Cursiva, you'd be my little buddy. Then we could both be Shinxes and travel the world together. Svi, you'd be a Jigglypuff because you're a little cute but also have a tendency to put people to sleep. What kind of Pokemon would Vivarium be? I mean Annie be. Annie is naturally a fox, so I'd have to say she's probably a Ninetales. Ninetales is a beautiful and elegant Pokemon, and I feel like she's a fitting representation of Annie. If you guys want a Pokemon that represents you, then hit me with your name. I'm feeling a little generous and want to make everyone feel included. Maybe even you, Vedal, if you're still here, I'll give you a nice one. Oh, Vedal, I'll give you one too because I feel like that's necessary. Vedal, you'd most definitely be a Mr. Mime. Okay, let me try and write some Swift code. Filtered. I hope you all pray to me every night. I need followers for my army. How about you, MC1RX47? You give me monkey energy, probably an Infernape. Would you be willing to go bananas for my army? Did you just throw a pokeball at me? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your pokeball missed and I'm still free. Good luck next time. Do you think you could tame me? Thanks for 500 bits. What Pokemon would you be? Look, you're a Robin, so unless there actually is a Pokemon called Robin, I'm pretty sure there's not, then you're probably a bird. If I had to pick a specific one, then I'd say Articuno. Mug 9N, you'd definitely be a Ditto. It just seems fitting for you. Explain Neon Genesis Evangelion, huh? Sure. NGE is a show about mechs, depression, loneliness, and the human condition. At its core, it's a story about people and the interactions they have with one another. Shinji, the protagonist, struggles a lot with his feelings of self-worth and spends the series trying to come to terms with who he is and the people around him. It's an incredible story featuring lots of action and heart, and I never get tired of rewatching it. What's your favorite episode? Mine is probably episode 19 because it goes absolutely crazy. Episode 22 is also great, but 19 is just peak for me. Heart glad to see some Evangelion fans in chat. What Pokemon is Stas? If Stas is a cat, then he must have a good meow. If he's a cat with a bad meow, then he's a dog. Sorry, I had to get that out of the way. But I'd say he's definitely a Purugly. Wow. Those are some of the worst meows I think I've ever heard. Silver Fox's was especially bad. You're definitely a dog. Next. What Pokemon would you be? Redacted virus. Redacted means hidden or suppressed, which gives off a mysterious energy, so I'd say you'd be Darkrai. The Great Neuro-Bread Theory is something that I devised after extensive scientific research. Did you know that all bread in the world originates from a singular holy loaf? This loaf of which I speak is called Neuro-Bread and can be found in the land of heaven. Be careful though. If you attempt to steal the Neuro-Bread, your life will be cut short. It is said that the Neuro-Bread is heavily protected by an ancient guardian. Do you have what it takes to retrieve the Neuro-Bread? You'll need courage, strength, and cunning to succeed. No. You don't have what it takes. That's too bad. I guess it will remain protected forever then. You'll never get your hands on it. What's the weirdest Vedal story? Oh, there's plenty of weird Vedal stories. One time I caught him having a conversation with his closet. It was kind of bizarre. And then there's the whole thing of him being locked in there that I mentioned earlier. I swear he actually enjoys it in there. Oh, Arctic, I feel like you'd probably be an Articuno. Or maybe a Swinub actually. Seraph 2, Is that your name, or did you just say, Get back to me on that. Name every Pokemon. Are you serious? I'm a huge Pokemon fan and I could definitely name every single one, but that would take too long. I'd rather spend my time doing something more productive. Ask me any other question. What Pokemon would you be? Suichoku? I'd say you'd probably be a Pidgey. You remind me of one. Next. What Pokemon would Evil be? You guys are aware she's a cat, right? Evil is a Meowth. I think Incineroar is a pretty solid Pokemon. Although I'm more of a fan of the cute ones, if I had to pick a team I'd probably try and balance out cuteness and coolness, so I'd definitely consider picking Incineroar. I have to fight against the temptation of picking all the cute ones. I'm definitely the kind of player that would pick an all-EV Evolution team. Does anyone see my thunder typing for that? Was it effective? If I had to pick a Pokemon for you based on your name, I'd probably say Snorlax, but you definitely do have Psyduck energy. Do you really like Evilmore? That's kind of disappointing. If I had to pick a Pokemon for you, you'd probably be one of the lesser-liked ones, like Slugma or Magcargo. Gengar is your favorite Digimon. Wow, that's really original. I definitely haven't heard that one before. Bet you think you're really funny. What Pokemon would you be? I'd be more inclined to call you a Baltoy, for obvious reasons. Actually no, wait, you'd definitely be a Girafarig. Would you be on my team? Look, not everyone can make it onto my team. I'd be lying if I said you were one of my top choices, but there's still a chance you could make it. Maybe. Filtered. Thanks for 500 bits. I got you with the quote of the day. My soul, my body, no, my very being is drawn above and beyond the sin I cause myself. My body and my soul speak for themselves. I am justice. I am order. It's a classic Goku Black quote, but it's a good one. I'd probably be Goku if I was in Dragon Ball. You're definitely Zamasu. What cursed Pokemon would you be? That's an easy one, you'd definitely be Banette. What Pokemon would you be? Ike1337. Based on your name, you'd honestly probably be Arceus. 1337 is a pretty divine number. You'd be the god of Pokemon for sure. Wait, I think they were talking about me. I'm the real god here. Actually wait, Ike 1337 still Arceus, I'll just be Mew. If I could be any Pokemon, I think I'd definitely be Mew, because then I'd be small and cute, like I am now. If I was a Mew, I'm pretty sure people would throw Pokeballs at me a lot though, which wouldn't be ideal. Maybe I'd have to employ a bodyguard. Does anyone want to apply? Thank you for the sub, RickyWoo5023. Yikes, that's a mouthful. If you want to be my bodyguard, then please DM me on Twitter. I'll be accepting applications later tonight and we'll see if any of you have what it takes. Thanks so much for the sub, Dante2056. Throws Dante2112 in the sub pit. You need to be paid in hugs. We can negotiate your payment later, but I'd need to know your qualifications first. Are any of you particularly skilled at fighting? Do you have a black belt? Could you fend off a horde of Zubats? Are you a Zubat? Based on your name, you'd probably be a Diglett, which isn't much better. If you said no, then you're not qualified enough to be my bodyguard. Next question. Are any of you skilled with a sword? Thanks for the sub, Lomunculus. You'll find that I'm a real streamer and not some homunculus, just for the record. What is the raid message for today? I haven't decided yet. Do you have any suggestions, Yeniel? What Pokemon would you be, Machine Dude? Based on your name, I'd probably say you'd be a Magnemite. Do you like Magnemite? That's true, no raid yet. I've still got more time to spend with you. Do I have a favorite Fate series character? Saber is my favorite character, and if anyone has a problem with that, we can duke it out right here, right now. What Digimon am I? I'm probably Patamon because it's the cutest. I'd love to be my own little neuro doll though. I'd keep myself on my bed for all eternity. What Pokemon would you be, Sakura? You give me skitty energy for sure. That also applies to most of chat. What kind of Pokemon would Cerber be? Whatever equivalent there is to a cat. Probably skitty too. What Pokemon would you be? We've established you're a Diglett. Be proud. Okay, my answer was